starting, Carol?
Live transmission. We are live on our Facebook page, so that people who may not be able to join us on YouTube can watch us later, can watch the video later. So thank you so much for creating time and for meeting digitally in our small city in Nrnberg. We're also based in Nrnberg. And most of you know me, but let me just do a brief introduction. I am Caroline Mwangi, the co-founder of the AG Career Hub. And very excited to have Professor Wellner. He was one of my best professors at the university. He worked with me in the path of finance and international management, and he also supervised my final project. So I am very happy, feeling very honored to have him on the platform. And one thing I like about Professor Wellner is his passion and connection to Africa. So he sees the potential with Africans, he sees the potential in Africa. And that is why I felt very honored to bring him on board to come and talk about career perspectives at the OHM Hochschule in Nürnberg. Yes, been in Germany for quite some time. I studied in a small city near Nürnberg, Augsburg, at the Fachhochschule or the Hochschule in Augsburg. I did international management. And I'm very, very passionate to build bridges between Germany and Africa on the academia and business level. So we have an information hub where we inform students, graduates, and young professionals, and even people in business who are looking for opportunities. So we are saying we are forming a small Google for business and career opportunities between Germany and Africa. And we are very, very keen on building different linkages, working with different partners. And some of the organizations and companies that have been supporting us are Deutsch Connect. Unfortunately, he was not able to join us today. Yes, this person. Sorry for that. Yes, Kumbi Raich Badza, he's from Zimbabwe. He has a huge network, as I mentioned earlier on, building linkages between Germany and the sub-Saharan Africa. We have Edith Otiende Lawani. He's also part of our team. She's a lawyer by profession and based in Munich. Also, a wonderful initiative called GANF, Giving Africa a New Face. And we've also been doing a lot of projects together. Maybe, Edith, you can introduce yourself later on. And we also have the Siemens Betriebskrankenkasse also supporting our initiative. And of course, the Hochschule in Nürnberg. So very happy also to have alumni. We have 3 students who joined us this afternoon. One of them is Emma. I've watched Emma grow. Right from the time she joined Germany. I met Milka when she also joined Germany just fresh, and we managed to share some few ideas on how they can advance their career paths here. I have not met Emmy, but I had a connection with the German Chamber of Commerce. So Emmy has previously worked with the German Chamber of Commerce in Kenya. So you can see the wonderful, Emmy said, the dynamism of networking, yeah, and they're all doing fantastic work here. And they said they want to be part of this. They want to share their ideas, why they chose the Hochschule in Augsburg, and even how to prepare like incoming students and professionals who would like to come and study in the wonderful city of Nuremberg. So before Professor Wellner kicks off, I'll hand over the microphone to Edith. I don't know if you'll have a minute to introduce yourself. If not, then we can go to Professor Wellner. And then after Professor Wellner has finished, maybe Sibile can also do a brief introduction, and then we can go to the presentation. Edith, are you still there?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to display my video later. I'm still holding a small boy here at my back. So I'm Edith Otiende Lawani, just as you introduced, and the co-founder of Giving Africa a New Face. It's an organization based here in Munich, but then with partners from actually both within Germany and also outside Germany. And what we are trying to do is similar to what AG Career Hub is doing, create platforms that bring people together. I wish then I had such kind of a good career hub like the one Caro is hosting. When I came here as an au pair with the desire to study with the goal of studying, it was quite pretty hard finding the information that you're giving today. Just to know, how do you orientate yourself when you come here? How do you network? How do you find the right information? Where do you go for the various applications? And I was lucky to find my ways, but then with the help you are offering today, my way would have been much easier. And I think those are the things that are motivating people like you and me to say, we want to change that and offer the help that we wished that people gave us then. So I'm glad to network today, and I know we are still going to interact much more, but thank you so much for hosting us today and giving us the opportunity to just showcase the little things we are doing. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm quite honored to have you as a partner.
Thank you so much, Edith. Edith has done fantastic work back in Kenya in a small city called Kisumu. She's been doing a lot of projects, turning talents into occupation with her legal skills here based in Germany. So you see, we can do a lot if we bring in all these efforts together. I forgot to mention one more thing. What we do actually on the AG Career Hub, we have mentors. So we actually say we have an academic home abroad. And all these mentors are trying to do exactly what Edith said. When new students arrive, they find an academic home where they can find Milka, they can find Emma, they can find Emily, they can find Professor Wellner, they can find Masi or Uma and anyone else who can work with them through their career path. And also to see which role can we play as African professionals in Germany in building those bridges between Germany and Africa. Reason being, we understand both cultures, we are very diverse, and we can do a lot more. So thank you so much. Allow me to hand over the microphone to Professor Wellner, and then you can maybe give Sibylle a few minutes, and then I can start your presentation.
Yes, thank you, Carol. It's so funny to see you as my previous student, to have such a good idea with the African German Career Hub. And the good thing, what I like about this Career Hub is that this shows the possibilities and opportunities that people do have if they are willing, if they can. And we have so many good African students here, and I know so many good African Germans or Africans here in Germany, and they're making so good things. So I think it's very nice to promote this. And I want to show you some opportunities that we do have here in Nuremberg at the Technische Hochschule Nürnberg. And I have a colleague of mine who is here with me today, and she's just listening, but I want to briefly introduce you to her. It's Sibylle Kenny Erb. And she is from Namibia, and you see how diverse Africa is. That Kenny is from Namibia, studied and lived for a while in South Africa, and now she's in Aachen, and is in the same position as you all are, or were a few years ago, or will be in a few years. So Sibylle, perhaps one word from you. How did you make it to Aachen? I know by plane, by Airbus probably, but what made you to leave South Africa, or what opportunities do you see for you in Germany? Sibylle, we don't hear you.
Apologies. So I previously lived in Germany, and we then actually moved back to South Africa so that our children have the opportunity to get to know South Africa and also get to know my family. And after having spent 10 years in South Africa now and also working in South Africa, we made the move back to Germany again so that the children can get to know the opportunities in Germany. And there are a lot of opportunities here, and I'm really looking forward to exploring those opportunities a little bit further. And as the others also said, I wish I had received valuable support the very first time when I came to Germany, just support in terms of understanding the culture, just gaining a better understanding of the cultural differences and how to navigate those differences every day. So I think things would have been much easier for me had I received coaching and support in the very beginning. The second time round now, coming back to South Africa, also this time back to Germany, also this time with a family. Fortunately, I work in the field of intercultural training and consulting, and I can really feel just having all of this knowledge and having worked with a lot of students, international students and expat families, has really helped me a great deal just to find my feet and to socially integrate, and also just to develop myself further professionally. It's been a little bit easier now.
Yes, thank you, Sibylle. Was a little surprised that I asked you also to talk a little bit to us. You just wanted to listen. I want to give you a brief overview on the city of Nuremberg, as you see here in the PowerPoint slides. Unfortunately, it did snow yesterday, but it didn't snow that much. So that picture is from last year. It's the castle of Nuremberg on the top left. And below, you see the castle of Neuschwanstein, which is about 2 hours away from Nuremberg in southern part of Bavaria. So Nuremberg is in the state, one of the 16 states of Germany in Bavaria. And what you see next to the Neuschwanstein castle, below the Nürnberger Burg, the Nuremberg castle, is the world famous Christkindl market, which unfortunately they skipped last Friday and they didn't open it. So normally this attracts about 3 to 4 million visitors. It's 4 weeks before Christmas. It's a very nice atmosphere, Christmas preparation. Nuremberg is known for gingerbread, sausage, and also machines, or for strong industry. And on the next slide, you see a little bit of our nice city, also in terms of the university. Carol, perhaps you go to the next one. Yes, next slide. And so further, please. So yes, this is what I wanted to see. So these are pictures from our university. And so we do have a very diverse group of students, and our names giver is Georg Simon OHM. Now a bell is ringing anywhere at grade 7 or 8 or 9 or 11 when you were talking about resistance of electricity. It was measured in Ohm, and we had the Ohmsche law on electricity resistance. And Georg Simon OHM, he was the founder, not the founder, the founding president of our university. And we're pretty big in terms of student numbers, so 12,000 students. So where Carol did study in Augsburg, that university had about 5,000 students. That's as much as we have in the faculty of business. So even we are called Technische, technical university, our biggest faculty is business and social science. And Sibylle is a guest lecturer at the faculty of machine building, and she does also intercultural training in our faculty or with our students. So we do have a lot of bachelor, even more master programs, so 27 bachelor and master programs. And we do have with 160 partner universities partnerships. We do have in Africa, a lot in East Africa, in Ethiopia, and also in Kenya, and in Southern Africa, in South Africa. And the rest, we are pretty blank in Africa. So one of our strategic targets is of the Vice President for International Affairs to have more relationships with African partner universities, especially because our Vice President, Uwe Mummert, he did live for 5 years in Tanzania. And while his wife was working there for the GIZ, German Gesellschaft für Entwicklungszusammenarbeit, so the German aid organization to support, in this case, the East African state Tanzania in the government of small, medium-sized enterprise. So we have students from over 100 nations. So you see this is a lot. And 1,400 students is not too much. It's about 1,200 students from outside of Germany. But in the Faculty of Business, we do have programs which are much more international. And on the next slide, you do see where our campus is situated. It's along a green park. For those who do not know Nuremberg, I tell them this is our university park, but in fact, it's a public park. And then you see the Nuremberg Castle again. Nuremberg is a very medieval old city, and the university is pretty close to the city center. So to walk from here to the city center is about 1 kilometer along a river. So you see the university got a lot of investments over the last 10 years, and we do have a very good ranked, an EU top ranked module in bachelor, which is called International Business and International Business and Technology. And Emma, I think, also studied in our Faculty of Business. Emma, what did you study in the Faculty of Business at the TH Nürnberg?
International Business.
International Business.
Correct.
Yeah. So, what was your first impression about the program International Business that you took?
Well, what I'd say for sure, the name fits the program. So international. First is the course was really international, not just from what we were studying. So if it's marketing and just understanding marketing on a broader sense, international sense, but also the students in the course, we were really from different cultural backgrounds, and this is one of the things that I think made me aware that, hey, I am a part of a bigger piece of cake or bigger pie, and we all have one goal to, I'd say, make the world a better place by achieving what it is that took us to the Georg Hochschule for our international business studies.
Yes, very good. So, Carol, on the next slide, we do see a little bit more of our business faculty. We also see the building of our faculty. Emma, I don't know, do you live currently still in Nuremberg, or where do you live?
I live in Düsseldorf. I moved here about 4 years ago, but I lived in Nuremberg for 10 years. So Nuremberg is, so to say, my home in Germany.
So you see some of the pics that are familiar to you, like say the entrance, the main entrance of the business faculty to the right. And below that, you see the main floor with some working areas. Yeah, so we do have here in the Faculty of Business about 4,000 to 5,000 students, and we do have a high amount of professors and lecturers and academic staff in relationship to the students. And the program that Emma did join, International Business Bachelor Program, is top 3 ranked in Europe. So it's one of the best programs in Europe. And we do have pretty modern building. I think Emma can agree on this. And we do have a lot of foreign students in this international business and international business and technology program. So these are 2 programs. One is Internationale Wirtschaft and the other Internationales Wirtschaftsingenieur. So a combination of engineering and business and international scope. And in these 2 programs, we do have about 30 to 40% non-German students. And on top of it, we do get a lot of exchange students. So normally in classes, there is about 50% of the students who are non-German students. The interesting thing about these 2 programs, and if you, Carol, continue into the next, onto the next slide, you do see that that international business program and international business and technology, which are now in yellow, are totally taught in English. So some engineering courses in IBT, International Business and Technology, some of them are taught in German, but I would say 80% of the IBT courses are taught in English, and in international business, it's 100%. Emma, you also had to spend a semester abroad for your internship and also for your university, partner university. Where did you go?
I was in beautiful Helsinki.
In beautiful Helsinki. Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully in the summertime, not in the wintertime.
Well, I was there in the winter time, and that was something that helped me really appreciate that things are different in different parts of the world. When at 3:30 it was really dark. So yeah, it was an experience, but I still love the city. Helsinki is beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, I think the people are very interesting in Helsinki. And so our international business program, the students have to spend 1 semester at a partner university and have to spend 1 semester abroad for an internship. And Emma, where did you do your internship?
I was at UVEX in Fürth.
In Fürth, okay. So you see, we have a strong relationship to local companies, but also to international companies. And normally students spend in their 7th semester 2 semesters abroad, 1 at the university and 1 in an internship. And you see it's a very multinational group with about 40% foreigners and with a strong focus in marketing or finance, supply chain, or also management. The IBT is even more sophisticated as you combine that business, international business aspect with technology. And if the IB students, Emma, just perhaps a personal question, did it take you long to get a job after finishing the IB program, or how was it with the other students finishing the IB program? Was it difficult to get a job, or what was it the most challenging thing, or what was easy about it, or what helped you?
I would count myself lucky in the sense that I had a working student job at my first employer. The company's name is Delphi. And when I was just about to finish my studies, I informed my boss that the need to look for a student to replace me. And it's when he mentioned that there was an open position, and if possible, then I could apply for the job. And I was lucky to get it. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I had from being a working student.
Yes, that's very good. So we have a statistic that from the IB program, 6 months after finishing the IB program, 100% of the students do have a job if they want to get a job. Some are doing a sabbatical, some are doing a master program, but those students who are looking for a job, 100% of them is into job half a year after the program. With the IBT program, with the combination with technology, it's even faster. So there we had the combination between technical or mechanical or natural science plus business. So it's more like a technical focus combined with business. So these 2 courses are bachelor courses. So for the start, and they're 7 or 8 semesters long. And then we have the classical German Betriebswirtschaft, business administration, which is taught in German. And so the practical experience is similar like it is with the other courses, but it's not mandatory to go abroad. While in IB and IBT, International Business and International Business and Technology, the students have to take a second language or third language, as English is seen as a normal language and German also. Then they take a third language. Emma, what language did you take?
I was waiting for that question. I took French, but I had to drop it because it got a bit complicated. But I'm glad the few words that I still remember from the first and the second semester helped me sometimes to just have a bit of small talk or just as an icebreaker for a conversation.
Ok, très bien. Est-ce que nous avons des Africains qui parlent français dans cette groupe?
Okay, that was too fast. Too fast.
I asked if we have listeners who are from French-speaking areas of Africa.
Oh, okay.
From Western Africa. Does not seem like, because we have a lot of students from also from Western Africa, mainly from Togo and from I forgot it. From Togo.
Cameroon.
Cameroon, yes, you're right. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, from Cameroon and from Togo. But also we do have a lot of students from Kenya. Emma, where are you from, if I may ask you?
I am from Kenya.
You're also from Kenya, yeah?
Yes.
I currently have 2 students from Kenya who are writing their bachelor thesis with me. And yes, also sometimes we have students from South Africa. Now I'm teaching the first semester students, and we have 5 students from South Africa. And we do have several times students from Northern Africa, from Morocco or Tunisia, and also sometimes from Egypt, and also sometimes from Nigeria and Ghana. So, but the amount of African students is not as high as, let's say, Asian students or of European students, but we can increase it, and therefore I'm showing you what potential and possibilities we do offer here at the TH Nürnberg. Yes, the classical Betriebswirtschaftslehre business is taught in German, and perhaps, Emma, one aspect that is special here in Germany, which is not unique for Nuremberg, but which is normal in Germany, is that you don't pay student fees. Yeah, so you get good programs and you don't pay student fees. And it's not like in England where you pay £9,000 per semester or 9,000 euros per semester. And when you finish your bachelor, you start with about 50, 60, 70,000 euros in debt. But for sure, you also need some money here. So I would roughly say that you need for living, including apartment, depending on what you spend. If you have a car and if you do travel a lot. But I would say the minimum you do need is about 800 euros for living here. Would you agree on this, Emma, or?
I was in the time when I was studying, we still paid a fee of 500, but just going back to what you said, I mean, you cannot compare 1,000 euros to the amount of money that people pay in other countries. But I think 800 euros, to be honest, I didn't always have 800 euros, but I did manage to have a comfortable life with round about 800 euros.
Okay, good. Yeah, if we go to the next slide, Carol, there we also see that we do also have interesting master programs. And I do not know, Carol, you also told me that we have one alumni from International Finance and Economics with us today.
Yes, we have 2 students. Milka also did IB, a bachelor program. She's also in the meeting, and the other one did International Finance and Economics. The one who worked with the German Chamber of Commerce, Emmy, and she's also in the meeting.
Okay, so can you hear me, Milka or Emmy?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what did you study, please?
I did the International Finance and Economics program.
So that's International Finance and Economic program that you see on the left side there. And tell me a few experiences that you had with this course. So it's a master course. It's also free of charge of student fees. And what did you specialize in, and what did you like most? And perhaps it's also, what do potential students have to consider when they study here in Nuremberg? What is different perhaps, or what made you surprised?
Okay, I specialized in finance, but I have to say there was a wide range of modules offered in different areas, even outside of economics and finance, like management and other economics modules that were very interesting. And it was a very diverse class. So there were students from other African countries, Ghana, Morocco, Egypt. There were students from Asia, from the US, and from other European countries. So whenever there was like group work, you get ideas that, come from different backgrounds, and the brainstorming sessions are always so interesting because you get very different perspectives than, coming from all the different backgrounds. So that was very interesting for me. And Nuremberg in itself was actually just in the pictures. I live in Hamburg right now, so I am missing Nuremberg.
Hamburg, how nice. Best place in Germany or in the world. Honestly.
Yeah.
After Düsseldorf, Emma.
I wanted to say, I would say Düsseldorf first.
So Nuremberg, I miss beautiful Nuremberg with the medieval feel and, you know, the Christmas market and Glühwein atmosphere is, yeah, very beautiful. Yeah.
So what do students have to consider when they study Master in International Finance and Economics here at the TH Nuremberg?
Okay, you would have to consider first your let's say your bachelor background, because you would be required to have some economic or finance background as a basis for starting the master program, and also the different career opportunities that you have. Although I would say that this master program offers a wide range of career opportunities afterwards. I ended up in internal audit, but I have classmates who are doing very different things around economics and finance, you know, in different industries and companies across the world, actually. Yeah.
And Emily, was it difficult for you to find a job after that master program here, or what was the most challenging thing to find a job, or what did you have to do, or what do you suggest?
I would say the one big challenge in finding a job was the language skill, because most of the jobs advertised in Germany are requiring you to have the German skills, yeah, German language skills. But so I was specifically looking for English speaking jobs, and so I had to widen my pool, yeah, not only look at Nuremberg, and that's how I ended up in Hamburg, because I was looking generally at the whole of Germany I had to widen my pool for me to find an English speaking job. But yeah, in terms of the skills that you get from the university, you can work, you know, anywhere really. Okay.
Was there something you disliked in this program or in this university besides the lectures with me?
Actually, your lectures were one of the most interesting, because it was like, yeah, basically just brainstorming and coming up with different perspectives. Yeah, not book cramming as typical learning sessions usually are. That's a difficult question. I had not thought of what I did like at the TH.
You know, we Germans, we're always very direct, sometimes offending, as some Asians tell me. And yes, but it's a good point that you mentioned also, Emily. For sure, if you study in Germany and you continue to work here, that it's helpful to speak the language. And as it's not a small country like Finland, so we have about 80 million Germans, and in Switzerland and some other areas in Europe, they also speak German. So the German language is a pretty strong must to get a good job afterwards, or to have more possibilities. Otherwise, you're a little bit limited in your view or in your search, and you take the full span of your program, of your master or bachelor, if you also speak good German. But after a few years, I think that is working nicely. We also have Milka Oromo in this group. She also did study, I think, master. Milka, what did you study in our faculty of business?
I studied international business.
Oh, also the bachelor, IB, sorry.
Also bachelor, yes. IB, yes, like Emma.
Like Emma, but you were not classmates with Emma.
No, I was ahead of Emma.
Okay.
One year ahead, yeah.
We don't talk about age, because I always I always make mistakes when I make age guessing, so we don't start this. Yeah, Milka, perhaps one other point on the international business program. What was your first impression on this program or studying in Germany compared to the school education that you had before?
Okay, my first impression was the diverse languages that they offered. They offered Spanish, French, and you could choose one other language apart from English and German. And that was one of the key points that I was looking for, because I wanted another language, always to learn another language. And another thing that made me choose University in Nuremberg was the studies abroad.
Yes, so the study abroad.
They study abroad. Although Fachhochschule Nürnberg was already abroad for me, but I just wanted to go abroad again. That was also another point that made me choose the course International Business.
So where did you go, Milka?
I was in Paris and also in wintertime.
Okay, but Paris in wintertime, there you have enough music to dance and party and good food.
It was a very beautiful time, and the semester went really fast, and it was beautiful. I met a lot of people. My network increased, and I still have the connections to date. So it helped me even in my career path.
Yes, so internationalization is very important. So for example, on Monday, 3 days ago, I had a joint lecture with a South African partner university in Port Elizabeth, and we had exchange of MBA, master and bachelor students from South Africa with our IB students here. So we were doing joint lectures with them, we were doing offsites with them. And on Sunday, my assistant, she picks up a guest professor from our Miami partner university in the USA. He comes here for 2 weeks and does guest lectures. So we constantly have guest professors from England, from India, from Australia, from South Africa, from Brazil, from Turkey, from all over the world, South Korea. And so that gives it a very international scope. So you can also do a master in Betriebswirtschaft. So you can focus in this field in finance and banking, or in market research, innovation, supply chain, auditing, and accounting, and management accounting, and also in IT management and digitalization. So we just built up a very strong startup hub here in our Faculty of Business. We just have 12 people. 12 researchers and lecturers and professors who are just focusing on startup scene here in the business faculty, and that just started last year. So startup business is a strong field of focus. Yeah, Carol, if you continue with the next slide, please. There you see an overview of the courses where and master and MBAs. And we also offer MBA courses. We offer MBA courses for those who did study already a bachelor or master in business and have 3 years work experience. So that might be also interesting for you. The MBA program for business graduates and non-business graduates. Non-business graduates takes 3 semesters, so 1.5 years, and business graduates takes 1 year. And the price for the MBA is roughly, I think, 17,000, 18,000. For that MBA program. Again, this is the only course you have to pay, the MBA in supply chain or MBA in sourcing or MBA in business, but all the other bachelor and master programs are free and of student charge. The MBA courses, they have even a higher degree of foreigners. So the non-business graduate, they have about 60% non-Germans or 70% non-Germans, and the business graduates have also about 50–60% non-Germans, and they are from all over the world, and also very interesting. Yeah, so this is an overview. We also offer a bachelor in science and biomanagement, organic management, also fast-growing field of sustainable management in the field of food industry. And then masters, we have a master also in law and a master in taxation and in auditing. Yes, so you see in the Faculty of Business, we do have a lot of courses and a lot of programs, and this faculty offers each semester 120 courses taught in English. And there's no other faculty of business in Germany, even from the bigger universities, that offer that many English-speaking courses. So that is very unique here in our Technische Hochschule Nürnberg. Yeah, Carol, we can continue on what we offer. We can also offer exchange programs. So if you're studying at a partner university or also a non-partner university. So for example, if you're studying, I don't know, in Uganda or in Egypt, and you can also come for a semester to our faculty. And we do have a kind of a mentoring program. We do care for them. We do offer also internships, and also we have a career service here. We have a buddy program. And Milka, have you been a buddy for one of the exchange students?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I've not had the opportunity.
Yeah, so that's what normal enrolled students are offering to the exchange students. And that's also very interesting because we are already pretty international in the Faculty of Business, but with the exchange students coming in from South Korea, from Brazil, from Chile, from USA, Canada, all over the world, Europe, it's even more exciting for the students to integrate. And the next slides, Carol, we show a little bit what Nuremberg has to offer. So you did hear already from Milka and Emma and Emily how pretty Nuremberg is. For sure, if they wouldn't have said it's pretty, we would not have invited them for today. But now the point is, I also my parents do live in Hamburg, so I can really say that Hamburg is the best place. But I grew up in other places also abroad, and I have to admit Nuremberg has something. Nuremberg is not small. Even Carol might say it's small compared perhaps to Nairobi or to Johannesburg or whatever other bigger cities, or to Paris. But Nuremberg has about 600,000 inhabitants, and Nuremberg, Fürth, Erlangen have about 1 million inhabitants. But the good thing is they offer everything of a huge city, but you have the feeling, as it is an old medieval city center with a town wall, you feel like you're in a small city. And I think that's very nice because it offers all cultural and science and business from big companies, but also has the feeling of a small company. Yes, Nuremberg is cheap and safe. Yeah, whatever cheap is and safe. Yeah, I mean, even in Hamburg, you can go at midnight on the Reeperbahn and you might see some drunken people. But yes, it's pretty safe here. And perhaps for those, I'm not a beer drinker, so I just can tell you from telling and hearing, we have over 300 breweries in the radius of 100 kilometers around Nuremberg. For those of you who like beer, that's probably is the best place on the earth to get different beer. I know that this is very often a main reason to study at certain places. It was not for me, but it's pretty interesting. Carol, was this a reason for you to come to Nuremberg, the 330 breweries?
Yes.
Definitely. I've never seen you drinking beer. So do you drink beer?
I drink secretly. No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, so coming to some facts, total cost per month, 500 to 700 euros. As I said, with 800 euros, you have a good living here. Accommodation, 160, that is the cheapest room you do get from the university. And it's not a campus university, even you did see in the picture before that we have a kind of a campus. And you see here on the right side that student apartment. I mean, it's an apartment. Yeah, it's not raining in there, and wind is kept away, and it's dry and warm, but it's not much of a comfort. But it's depending what you pay is what you get. So you can live on a small budget, but you can always spend more. On the next slide, you see actually the application form. So we do have 2 semester starts. So it's the winter term starts in October and the summer term starts in mid of March. And not all programs start in summer and not all programs start in winter. So you have to check. So the IB, International Business and International Business and Technology, they only start in winter. But similar like what Carol was studying in Augsburg, and also this is the case in international business here in Nuremberg, we do have a very high request on this program. We do have about 700 applications and we take about 70. And we try to keep as many from abroad as possible. So with other words, the French and the Italians and the Bulgarians, they're not seen as people abroad as they're part of the European Union. So outside of the European Union, we try to attract as many as possible. So in this case, let's say from Africa or from North America, Latin America, wherever outside the EU. And we do have a certain contingent on these non-EU students. EU students is the same. A German counts like a French or like a Bulgarian. In this case, we don't differentiate, but we do have a certain percentage and possibility to increase our non-European number of students, and that we're very keen on. So we want to bring diversity in terms of different cultures and people into these programs. Yes, so that's it from my side. On the last slide, you do see the email address for, oh, you don't see it, sorry. I edited it on my side here. Yes, so you do get a lot of information on the webpage in German and also in English, and you can also contact our student service or our international office, and for sure also meet directly if you do have any questions, or for sure you can also ask our alumni, Emma, Milka, or Emily.
Sure.
Are there any open questions from your side?
Thank you so much. Let me just interrupt. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Maybe we can see the real faces of Emma, Emily, and Milka before we go to the quiz session. They can, of course, we've heard about their voices, what they've been doing, but maybe just one statement or two, and then now we can go to the Q&A session. Emma, you want to start? Just a wrap up where you come from and where you are right now, what you're doing.
Sure. So yeah, my name is Emma Macharia. I am a key account manager in the automotive industry. I work for an automotive supplier. This is my second employer that I am with. I've worked in the field for about 8 years now, and currently based in Düsseldorf, which is the most beautiful city. Because I live here. I think what I can say generally about what you're doing, Carol, is, first of all, I'm proud of seeing this being something that you live by, because I know you for many years, and I know that this is the path that you've always wanted to take. And I think we just need more people like Carol, and we can get challenged by what she's doing, supporting each other, and also just sharing ideas, because I think if we get a chance to share ideas, somebody else is able to learn from them. So from the mentoring that AG Career Hub is doing, I think this is a great thing. And it's also good to see familiar faces like Milka here, and also Professor Wellner. Probably I wasn't the most popular student, but I do remember your face. And it's good to have been here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emma. One good thing that Emma did, as she mentioned earlier on, was she managed to look for a student job as she was studying. So this is a tip we always give to international students. There are so many companies here that can give you student jobs, and this way you can easily tap into the job market easier because they already know you. So look for that student job. If you need our help, you can get in touch. Thank you so much, Emma. Maybe go to Emily, who has a very interesting background, having worked with German companies in Kenya. Would be very interesting to see if this is the real picture you're experiencing here working in Germany.
Yeah, thanks, Carol, and thanks also for organizing this forum. So I am from Kenya, as has been mentioned. My last job in Kenya was in the German Chamber of Commerce. So our job was to create connections between German companies that want to expand their business or enter the African market. So that's how I got introduced to like the German working culture and got curious about Germany, and eventually ended up living here. So I moved to Germany in 2018, mainly for my studies at the Technische Hochschule. And currently I am working as an internal auditor for a food ingredient manufacturing company in Hamburg. It's an American company, that's why they speak English, but has a big office in Hamburg where we do internal audits across Africa and Europe. And what else can I add? Yeah, as I mentioned, if for those who are considering studying in Germany, please also consider the German language skills. Yeah, as soon as the thought crosses your mind, start on learning the language, because it will go a long way in making life easier for you once you move to this side.
Wow. Thank you so much, Emily, and happy to win another mentor on the platform. We have Milka, who also has an interesting background. She did her pre-university in Coburg and decided to settle for an English program. And maybe she can tell us why. Why did she not take a German degree program, having done mathematics and accounting in German? Good to have you, Milka.
Thanks, Carol, for inviting me. First of all, I would like to say that in our times, we didn't have the Edge Career Hub, so finding information was really difficult. And I would like to congratulate you for starting up this program so that the people who are coming new, or the new students, they have easy access to information. You can imagine coming to Germany as a pair, and you are trying to find yourself, find a university, and also to develop yourself, but you have no information. You only have to look for students who are you don't know their background. You have to get someone who knows someone. But because of Edge Career Hub, the new students, they have it easier, as the new Google, you call it. And so one thing I would like to mention, finding the first job. It was easy for me. And the reason why the company took me was because I studied abroad. Oh. And that is, I was in Germany already abroad, and I was also abroad in Paris. And that is why the company took me, not because I was the best, because they were very good candidates, but I was overwhelmed with my bachelor and Anfänger, we call it, but they took me instead of others who have very many years of experience. And that was a plus for me. So that's also one of the reasons why I studied international business, is also to work in international companies. And also another thing that I would like to mention is that studying abroad or studying abroad, coming from Kenya to study in Germany, it helps in your personal development, because you get very hard challenges, Carol or Emma, that when you're in Kenya, you know, you have your parents there, they can always solve problems for you. But when you are alone and you have this situation and there is no mama, papa, it is just you, you know, it helps your brain, it thinks out of the box. And now when it comes to challenges like going abroad again, in Finland or in Paris, you are already developed. And so whatever situation that comes your way, I tell you, you can tackle it like this. And that is also, I think that helped me a lot, because I've lived in Nrnberg for a long time. I've worked with several international companies until my last job was in finance with the First Data. The First Data is just at the Bahnhof. Behind Bahnhof, if you know it, next to Nelson Mandela Platz. That's a big company called the First Data. But now I'm in the Elton site. I just became a new mother. So that's all about me, Carol. Did I leave something behind?
No, you've said everything. We've been doing a lot of sessions also with Milka. There's a session we did on work-life balance, like when do we say no? So you can say we are really trying to cover as many topics as possible, not just telling students to come here, but we're also trying to give them the insights of how they can fit into the job market in Germany. Professor Wellner, we also have Ben Kilel, one of your students from from Augsburg. I don't know, Ben, if you have a minute, you can introduce yourself. I'm sure Professor Wellner will be happy to see your face.
Carol,
true, I remember that.
Well, I came in late and I just wanted to listen, just wanted to be an active listener today. But thank you for, recognizing me. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Ben Kilel. I live in somewhere between Augsburg and Heidenheim. And I also work in that place. Far away from Ulm. I am an accountant.
He was always good in finance. Ben was always good in finance.
But I remember the most not actually challenging but interesting course that I had with you was a kind of a multicultural setup.
Mm-hmm.
It was I don't remember the name, but it was
cross-cultural management.
Cross-cultural management, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was really nice. I'm really glad that you recognized me.
I never forgot you.
Yes. So well, thank you very much. I just want to say something more about what exactly what Milka has just said, that AG Career Hub, as I've said in other platforms, is just our Google. We are glad that we have this platform at the moment. These are the things that we have. Actually, I had hoped that we had before, but yeah, thank God that you are here. So we will keep sending you all those questions that our brothers and sisters all over the world who would like to come to Germany to study have been, asking us. Then you are our, so to say, our contact person. Yeah. So
Ben, what's the name of the company you're working for?
I work for Kencom. It's an IT company. Mm-hmm. We are delivering the IT equipment to all these German government entities and EU organizations, and I'm responsible for the closing. That means monthly closing in German cap for the company in Berlin, which is providing services and IT services and hardware to all those German offices, German federal offices. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I see it's Ben who did study in Augsburg International Management, and also Carol did study International Management in Augsburg, and Emma and Milka also studied International Business, which is more or less the same as it is in Augsburg, and for sure better now as I'm not in Augsburg anymore, but in Nrnberg.
Yes, I think you left actually when I was in the fourth or the fifth semester. I don't remember anymore, but actually just before I cleared my university studies.
Yeah, but I think it was so nice what Emily just said. You're actually getting out of the comfort zone by coming from a far distant country, a far distant continent, from a different culture, where so many things are different, and then coming to Germany, and where everything is strictly structured, and where everybody's focusing on business and the way we are here. Doesn't it always make it easy for foreigners to come here? It might be easier, let's say, with an open Italian way of living or so, but the opportunities and the chances you do have here, and the possibilities, and also the work career, they're awesome. And we are looking desperately for good people, for engaged people. And I think that career hub that Carol did found is perfect, because it shows you, gives you best practice experiences on others, how they made it, how they overcame problems. And Emily, so you're absolutely right. You have to get out of your comfort zone to achieve something. Yeah? If you don't get out of your comfort zone, and to make the first step to study in a different country, then make the second step going like Emma did to Helsinki, or like you did to Paris, even already being foreign here. But it's so much fun, and all the students are young and open and interested, and you will never have the chance again than doing it when you're young. The older you get, just imagine, Ben, you would come now in your age to Germany. It would be much more difficult as if you would integrate with the other students, and where it's not a problem, because then you're all young, having the same problems and same tasks and targets.
Thank you, Tai and Kip.
I think I have to tell something to Professor Dr. Wellner. Thank you very much for also, showing us through or taking us through the courses that you have in Nuremberg. I was even thinking, something was running in my mind, and I wanted to see and check when is the next enrollment so that I can enroll just for fun, because he was told it very nicely, and I realized. And I said, oh, okay, no, I'm not a student anymore, so I don't need it anymore.
Yes, but you're never too old to study. Yeah? So the MEF program that Emily did is very finance-oriented, finance-focused. Or perhaps for you, Ben, it might even make more sense to do, let's say, the master in taxation and auditing. Yeah, that is actually then the next step in your accountant career. And some of these programs, you can also take them in distance. I mean, we still have presence lectures in the majority, but some of these lectures are held in the evenings, and some of the lectures you can also learn by yourself. So you don't always have to attend 100%. So you can also do some home studying also. And but education is always helpful, and it never stops. So that's.
I agree. Thank you so much for this. Sorry, Emma. Yes. Yes.
Just adding to what Milka said earlier on, studying abroad. I don't know whether we have people viewing us from other countries and are still living at home. But
yes, we have people watching us from Munich, from Nairobi, from South Africa, from Nigeria.
Oh, brilliant!
Yes.
Yeah. So you get so exposed to different setups and to different, let me call them, challenges. And having lived in Nuremberg, before I really got to the point where I told myself I have to get a working student job, after Caro had mentioned it a couple of times, I worked in different jobs. So when I saw the Lebkuchen there, I remembered of days when we used to go to the Lebkuchen, the gingerbread factories to pack the cake. And it's such things that, when you're exposed to such things, it helps you later on even in business life. For example, when I'm in one of our factories, I understand these people more, the people who are in production, the people who are in assembly, that you're able to connect with them on a different level than if you're just working in the office. You have never had experience and maybe any exposure with being in a factory kind of setup. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to go to the Lebkuchen, to the Nürnberger Bratwurst place, but it was an experience working at the Lebkuchen Fabrik in Nürnberg.
Very good.
It's a very interesting observation.
I would eat so many Lebkuchen. I would eat so many gingerbread. I would be round like a Buddha.
At some point, you don't want to eat them anymore because you're even dreaming of them, just driving down on the band. Yeah. Respect. I just have one word for those people. Respect.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's the point that Emma is mentioning. The universities in Germany are a little bit more theoretical than the University of Applied Sciences. So the so-called Fachhochschulen, or we are a Technische Hochschule, technical university. We are much more practical oriented than universities. But even the universities in Germany, they're much more practical oriented than universities, let's say, in South Africa or in Spain or in Italy, where they just go through, or even in England, they just go through the theory. But what's important, if you want to prepare yourself for the working market, that you get work experience. And if I remember Carol, she did her internship and also her bachelor's thesis later on with Eurocopter from Airbus Industries. So in controlling, management, accounting, and that actually opened the door for her to her current career in management accounting. So that interlink between practical experience and what Emma said, getting the work experience because everybody's working part-time, and getting that additional experience, that is very important in our university life here in Germany, our education system.
Thank you so much for your wonderful remarks. I don't know whether I can't see any questions here live, but maybe in the group we have some questions. Maybe you can shoot your questions now, and I will stop the live transmission. Thank you so much, and then now we can open the Q&A session so that we don't keep the video too long. Just give me a minute. Stop live stream. So the floor is yours. Or a comment. I can see Edith, we can see you now on video. Maybe you can also mention one or two things, having studied law in Germany, your experience. You might have some students who would like to study law in future in Germany, and you being so engaged in building that bridge between Germany and Kenya. I wouldn't mind you saying one statement or two.
Always a pleasure. So just like the others have said already, it's a great privilege that you offering to those who want to study here, because it's a one-time offer that one can never afford to miss. These are some of the bases that we missed then. I remember when did I study? When I started my studies, I came here 2006 as an au pair. And by then studying was like, oh my God, looking for gold somewhere. And it was like, you can't even find one person to ask a question, you know. In Munich, I don't know of other countries. And I'm like, oh my God, you had so much to have 2-3 people in the same course where you studied. I didn't have that. It was boring to always be the only Black in class studying law, and then it's more of theory, and you're the only one. The language challenge is also there. Was pretty tough coming into the society and, you know, mingling up with people, gaining that confidence. So to have such kind of platforms would have really helped me then. I remember I was introduced to one lady that was doing some either student colleague or language school. And I even tried to bribe her with some money to pay for the hour so that we could meet, just for me to have the information on how do I start up my ways. But even that couldn't work. So that's what I mean when I say I know the value of what you're giving people. Now the situation is different. Yeah, you have a lot of people that have studied and you can always ask questions. Yeah, that's very good. But then still such kind of platforms that bring up people together is of great treasure. And just as it has already been emphasized on, language is a very important aspect. And not to start with it here, consider it the moment you start considering traveling to any country, put more emphasis on the language, regardless of where you're going to study, what you're going to study, how long you're going to stay there. Put more emphasis on the language, because it opens a door. I mean, when you start introducing yourself, even was it Emily or who took French and then dropped it after the second semester, but you still realize it helps you somewhere. You don't really have to work in the same field. It still helps you somewhere. It's a door opener. Even if it's just for ice breaking, you just kick one word and then you're in. And the German society is unfortunately is a place where without the language, just nobody, all your titles and your networks, and it doesn't just help anything. If you're not good in the language skills, it blocks so many of your opportunities. Yes, you might find an English-speaking company, but the moment you leave your house, you're in the German society. You leave your workplace, you're in the German society. Your free time is typically German, and if you're not careful, you find yourself limiting your movements, your networks, because you fear encountering the language challenge. Yeah, so the more you put more effort in learning the language, the more easier it is for you to just integrate yourself and feel comfortable in your own surroundings, just for your own good. Then one thing that motivated me to come here, yes, I came in as an au pair, but then right from the beginning, it was just German say Mittel zum Zweck. It was what I needed for me to study. One key factor was affordability.
in as much as then we were still paying school fees, like I think Emma said, by then we still had the school fees of 500 and something. Still, it was much affordable compared to where I come from. I'm a Kenyan. I come from Kenya. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. I came from very humble family backgrounds, and it's a great privilege that the German society or the universities are opening to also international students, that you can come here and then afford your own studies without being dependent on the background of your parents, of your relatives, and you on your own grounds can stand up and say, yes, I want to change my own future. Yes, my background can be determined by other factors, but now I can take up my future and then make up something positive out of it. So now that you don't even have school fees, just take up the courage and say, let me attempt. You have nothing to lose. Then the other thing that was also mentioned here that is also very important, learn from the beginning to find these part-time jobs. They help you a lot to stand your own grounds. I mean, yes, it's hard to part-time the university. Yes, you're a full-time student, but still you have to create out time, sacrifice your free time and go for the jobs. But it helps it helps you so much to stand your grounds and then be self-independent. So whatever it is, today as a qualified lawyer, nobody asks me how I financed my studies. I had to finance everything, but I did all those so-called nasty jobs with the cleanings, tidying up for the families, ironing for them, doing the babysittings, before I finally started with the student temps in a company. But those were the humble beginnings that then, they just make you strong. They make you a survivor. So feel confident about what you want to pursue as your studies, as your career. Don't mind where you're starting. All these beautiful faces you see here today that have made it somewhere, they started from those humble backgrounds and had all the challenges that you've heard them talking about. So just gain that courage and network. Approach any of them, approach Caroline, and our doors are always open. Anytime you knock our door, you hit us, we are there. So yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Kai-Uwe. It's not so common to find professors coming to such kind of our levels, and then they just talk to you as if they're your best pals. Huh? Thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it. I wish I had a professor like this then. So thank you so much. It's been a privilege joining you here today. Thank you.
We offer a master in legal, LLM. So
I think I'll approach you. It's one of the still unaccomplished goals that I still have.
Okay, see you next semester.
Thank you so much, Edith. I think one thing we can all agree on is Professor Wellner was very open to all students. And that is really something that I noticed from day one. I was like, oh, this is a very easygoing professor. Thank you. Keep it up. Don't give it to someone else. So anyone with a question?
I would actually just like to make a comment.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I would like to commend the university in Nuremberg for really acknowledging the importance of intercultural training and also introducing it to the students and really wanting to make sure that the university develops global engineers and other global professionals. So I'd really like to commend the university for that. And as many of you also said, I can just agree that in the sessions that I also have with students, it's a very interactive session. We have a lot of different cultures within the class. So students actually have an opportunity not just to learn from me, but also to learn from others, which is very valuable. And I also do a lot of work in the field of expat partner support. And from my work, I know that when expat families go through those different phases of culture shock during the first 9 months, it can sometimes be very difficult. But Carol, I think that's where your career hub really provides such good support and great support, because when you are in one of those phases, maybe you're feeling a little bit frustrated, you've had those first intercultural encounters and you're not really sure